of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Talk game plans and big plays into the night with Rick Ballou and Hacker After Dark, evenings on 1010XL.
Now, the window world of Northeast Florida fifth quarter on 1010XL. Presented by Von Rowan Law. Here are your hosts, Ryan the Hacker Green, Leon Searcy, and Coach Campo.
Coach puts it down. Little kicks it up. And the field goal is good. He drilled it. He drilled the 49-yarder. And the Jags take a 37-34 lead with 17 seconds to play in the ball game.
Frank Frangie on the call, Jaguars radio, and with that, a very good Sunday evening, Northeast Florida. It is the window world of Northeast Florida fifth quarter. We are presented by Von Rowan Law with the Pro Bowler Leon Searcy and the head coach Dave Campo. I'm the Hacker Ryan Green. The Jacksonville Jaguars get their first win of the year, 37-34 over the Indianapolis Colts, and the biggest exhale that you've ever heard in your life happened about 2 hours ago at Everbank Stadium. If they would have lost that game, being up 34-20 with 5 minutes to go, to Indianapolis's credit, they came back, but to Jacksonville's credit, at 34-34, when all the momentum on planet Earth was with the Colts, Trevor Lawrence and that offense did what they needed to do. They got their rookie kicker in a 49-yard situation, and he absolutely nailed it to get the win. And Indianapolis still has not won in Jacksonville since September of 2014. Leon Searcy, your thoughts on the Jaguar win today?
Well, listen, Hack, they delivered the goods, bro. All is well in Whoville for today.
Yeah.
With everything that was going on in Jacksonville, with TC going in the ring, the throwback jerseys, not having won a game in forever, to come out there and play the way they play was absolutely a sight to see. I enjoyed it, absolutely. Trevor played well. The offensive line, back-to-back weeks, was solid, running the ball, protecting Trevor. Trevor, you know what? It's nothing better than when we talked about Trevor not being able to hit the long balls last week, and then he hits them this week and tell us to suck it. That's what he probably should have said to all of us.
Hey, he did good. Trevor Lawrence, one of his best games ever as a Jaguar.
Yes.
Absolutely. And Coach Campo, this show was almost drastically different after the Jaguars blew that 34-20 lead with 5 minutes to go. This was almost drastically different, but a win's a win, and the Jaguar fans will take it.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you what, guys, it's tough to win in this league. I don't care who you are, and you see it every week with upsets here and there. All I can tell you is that the quarterback, with all his crap he's taken here the last 4 weeks. He threw the long ball, like Leon said. He hit the long ball. He moved the ball in a critical situation to win a football game. That's what he's getting paid for, and I have to give him the props for that. I'll tell you, with about 6 or 7 minutes left, I was ready to fire the whole staff when they hit those long balls, being a defensive coach.
Coach gets spirited in the group text, let me tell you.
I think I texted everybody and said they ought to fire everybody, including the players. No,
and we'll get to what happened on the defense, because it was a cluster, you know what, there in the last 5 minutes. But the offense responded. And RJ, there's no point in burying the lead. Every week here on the fifth quarter, we do give you an offensive player of the game. That offensive player of the game is brought to you by Universal Roof and Contracting. And let's do it right now. The Universal Roof and Contracting offensive player of the game.
Universal Roof and Contracting presents the offensive player of the game. Universal Roof and Contracting. The difference is universal.
28 of 34, 371 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. And for people going off about the interception, give me a break. The Jaguars lost 4 in a row. The interception put the Colts on their own 1-yard line. There were a lot of worse interceptions. Was I happy about it? No, but come on. You're just looking for reasons to criticize Trevor at that point. A quarterback rating of 119.5. Leon, this is the guy that you paid $275 million to. He finally showed up today, and he was worth every penny for this Sunday afternoon.
Oh, absolutely. He delivered the goods. He was poised in the pocket. I saw a little swag about him, a little confidence about him. You know what I mean? He just let the ball release. And sometimes
He actually smiled.
He did. He had a lot to smile about.
Yeah.
He had protection. Kudos go out to the offensive line. Gave him back-to-back weeks. Gave him time to throw the ball. He made the necessary throws. Not only the short, the intermediate ones, but also the long ones.
I'll tell you this too, Coach. Brian Thomas Jr. is officially a problem now for opposing defensive coordinators.
Mm-hmm.
The Jaguars have one. If I had a quarter for every time I've heard wide receiver one, who's our wide receiver one for the last year after year after year, I'd have a lot of quarters. The Jaguars have their wide receiver one, and his name is Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah, no question about it. He's one of those guys that's in the ilk of the neighbors, of the Jeffersons, of the, and he's not there yet. But he's got all the goods to do that. He's got the speed. He's got the hands. He's got the swagger. He got a 15-yard penalty last week. He didn't get one this week. He just ran by everybody, and nobody could catch him. I love him.
And let me ask you, and I don't mean to, there's no controversy here. I'm just legitimately asking you a question, and I will give you credit because, to my knowledge, you are literally the first person that I heard say this a couple of weeks ago. I guess that's what 50 years experience in football will do for you with the head coach here. Tank Bigsby might be the best running back on this football team.
Well, he is, in my opinion. I think they're a little bit different, both of them, Etienne and Bigsby. I think the thing that held Bigsby back was they didn't have confidence in him last year with the fumble, but also he's had to learn protections and making sure that he knows who to block when. They're two different runners. Bigsby, let me start with Etienne. Etienne is a good back because when he hits the line of scrimmage, he's going full speed.
I love they got him involved in the passing game
and
today.
The passing game, that's really, I said this last week, I think, to me, he's really a third down back. He's a guy that can protect a little bit. Mm-hmm. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. And if he gets a little area on a screen or something like that, he can take it all away. Bigsby, though, as far as a pure running back, has got great eyes. And he can jump cut. Both of those things you don't see Etienne do that well. That one he took 65 yards, but there was a 4-yarder or something earlier where he made about 4 guys miss. He almost broke that one.
And Trevor got a chuckle out of that. He ran about 40 yards to gain 4.
Exactly.
And Leon, this was a game of 85-yard touchdowns, 65-yard touchdowns, long punt returns. But I was telling you guys beforehand, to me, one of the biggest plays of the game, no one's going to talk about after tonight, but I did want to bring it up at least once. 34-34. All the momentum on the Indianapolis Colts side. They had just scored back-to-back touchdowns. Everybody in Jacksonville's thinking, are you kidding me? Are we really going to do this again? Lose another just gut-wrencher? By the way, a loss today would have been catastrophic. Jaguars come out 1st and 10 on their own 30. Trevor dumps it off to Dearness Johnson. There is a Colts linebacker that has him dead to rights. 2nd and 10, maybe 2nd and 11. He would have got back to the line of scrimmage or lost a yard. Dearness Johnson broke out of a tackle and gained 8 yards. Nobody else will probably talk about that after today.
Big play.
But the difference between 2nd and 2 on the game-winning drive or 2nd and 11, all because Dearness Johnson broke that tackle, I just wanted to give a little love to number 2.
Absolutely.
That was a gigantic play.
Oh, yeah, because it swung the momentum back to us. Because, like you said, the Colts had all the momentum coming back, big plays, ties the game up, and then we go out there. We go out there and we get back to the line of scrimmage, or we lose 2 yards and we have to struggle to get a first down. Now all the time, the Colts have all the time. We had to punt the ball to the Colts. They go down. They kick the winning field goal and win. So, yeah, that was an absolute big play. To make it 2nd and 2 instead of 3rd and long, absolutely.
You've blocked a lot of really good players in your day, Hall of Fame players. Not saying anything about the Hall of Fame, certainly, just pointing that out, that you have a great perspective. Trayvon Walker was a beast today. He should have had 4 sacks.
Yeah, he was.
He got the Flacco 4 times. He got 3 sacks. The 4th one, Flacco managed to get rid of it right as he was going to the ground. Trayvon Walker was unblockable today.
He was. And I didn't feel sorry for the right tackle. He got overwhelmed on many plays. I mean, the bull rush, the chop. I saw a plethora of moves from Trayvon. The one-arm chop, get around the corner, the flip inside, the bull rush. All that right tackle is going to have his film session is not going to be good with the offensive line coach. Let's tell you that much.
No.
Trayvon was getting after it. And I made this prediction before the season started. I said that Trayvon Walker, as far as the sack totals go, I said that he would beat out Josh Allen this year. And right now he's up 5-2.
5-2 after 5 games, no question about it. Coach, a lot of positives tonight. We're going to take calls. We're going to be with you at 8 o'clock. Phone lines are open, 641-1010. Let's at least touch upon the borderline catastrophe on defense in the last 5 minutes. They're up 34-20. Bigsby, the 65-yarder. The game should be over. Alec Pierce, 58 yards behind the defense. They punch it in a play later with Trey Sermon. Get the ball back, and then a 65-yard touchdown. What on earth happened, in your opinion?
Well, first of all, I'm going to have to look at the 22 to see exactly what happened. But there was on the longest one, the 65-yarder, it was either the right corner, 30.
Monteric Brown.
If it was man-to-man, he busted because he didn't cover the guy. On the other side, they were covering man-to-man. If it was zone, the guys on the other side, because Monteric backed off it, and the other side played man. The safety Cisco was leaning way too far over towards Pierce, and he got outrun. And so to me, there were a couple situations. I don't know what coverage they were in, to be honest with you, on the tight end touchdown.
The Mo Alley Cox touchdown,
Yeah,
the 3rd and 13 or whatever it was.
I tried to run it back, and I couldn't see. I just couldn't. You can't see enough of the secondary. But that should never happen. In fact, Ryan Nielsen, he's happy we won, but he's got a sword in his hand. And when he watches it a little later tonight, because I don't think he'll go to sleep, I think he'll be a little bit upset, to be honest with you.
Leon, they had to get a win, right? They had just 3 devastating losses and a blowout. I mean, things were awful. What does it mean for this team to not only get a win, to get the pressure off, if you will, but to get a win in that fashion? I mean, you think, oh, my gosh, here we go again, and then your rookie kicker goes out there and drills a 49-yarder. I imagine that was a very, very happy locker room.
Well, listen, Coach Campbell and I was talking about this off the air. We said just for the psyche of the team, they had to have a win. But just to change the energy in the area, their workplace. I mean, in the weight room, in the film room, in the locker room. I mean, I'm sure losing 4 straight this start of the season, 9 out of 10, had to be doom and gloom around it. Guys not really liking each other. Guys, that kind of stuff happens. But when you get a win and you see it on film and you see how good you play, now you say to yourself, okay, let's go get another one because this feels good. If it feels good, go get you another one. And next thing you know, you got a streak. 2's a streak. 1's a win, 2's a streak. Next thing you know, we got 3. So I know we take it one game at a time, but this team had to win this game because now when they watch the film, they can see themselves making plays. Now you're going to see them making mistakes too, and Coach said, like on the defense, you're going to make the corrections, but if you play a complete game, like I think this team did, special teams, offense and defense at times, they know they can win ball games.
I don't want to elaborate too much on this, and you are the perfect 2 guys to talk about it. Apparently there was an exchange of pleasantries that was reported between Trevor Lawrence and Gabe Davis in the first quarter. Again, I heard bits and pieces of what happened from people that were near it, but I don't want to elaborate too much. Trevor was asked about it in the post game and kind of brushed it off as things that happen. That stuff does happen. I mean, you got a lot of testosterone out there, a team that lost 4 in a row. I don't think it's that big a deal, particularly now because they won the game.
Yeah, no, listen. First of all, you can't exclude Trevor, all right, from guys being combative because Trevor he makes bad plays at times in the game, and Gabe made a bad play as well. So them confronting each other, I don't have any problem with that. I mean, sometimes listen. First of all, you can't turn on the switch. You got, like you said, you got a lot of alpha males on that sideline, and if a guy says something, you say something, you say it, you squat, you go at each other, then you walk away, and then you squash it, and then you're good.
Coach,
that's how you do it.
Is it squash, Coach, because they won, or is it something that Doug Peterson will have to talk to him about?
No, I really think that the game is emotional, and sometimes I think it stems from the fact that they were 0-4 going into this game. I mean, I'm not going to say that that didn't have anything to do with it, but those kind of discussions. Listen, sometimes between coach and player. James Washington, one of our safeties back in the day with the Cowboys, if I didn't have an argument with him on the field, we didn't play a good game. It was just, the emotion of the game can get to you. But seriously, they're going to have a heck of a lot better plane ride over to London after this ball game than if it had gone in the other direction. I can tell you that.
Yeah, Hacker. And like Coach said, it's the frustration of just losing and losing and losing and losing. That takes a toll on you after a while. And you got to take it out on somebody. And sometimes if your teammate, if you don't think they're playing up to par or telling them that you're open and he says something, you say something back, then, guys get in the way, you push away from each other, you walk away, come back, hug it up, and now you got to win, so it's all squashed.
All phone calls tonight are on the Garber Auto Mall phone line. Let's get a couple of calls in here on the opening segment. The Jaguars winners, 37-34. By the way, it's 1 week at a time, but the Jaguars were the only winless team in the NFL coming into today. Now they're one of 4 teams in the AFC that are 1-4, joined by Cincinnati, joined by New England, and joined by Cleveland. It changes pretty quick, right? It's a long season. Let's just win some games and see what happens in a month or two. Let's go out to St. Mary's to kick it off. Let's get Craig in here on 1010XL. Craig, what's going on?
Fellas, Hack, it's not 4 in a row, it's 9 in a row. So, but we'll stick to 2024. So, Gabe Davis, even if Tom Brady was on the sideline giving his receiver the business, the receiver's not coming back at him. And that's just the level of respect that he has for the quarterback. I understand Gabe Davis is a new guy, but if Lawrence is giving you the business, maybe it's too late. Maybe Lawrence has set a precedent to where the receivers are not used to him giving them the business, and they feel that they can give it back to him. But that's not my original call. My original call is about conditioning. We have Tyson Campbell out on a soft tissue injury. We have Evan Ingram out on a soft tissue injury. Before today, we had only scored 3 points in the fourth quarter. We have given up the fourth quarter lead in 5 games. Coach and Cersei, what is going on with the conditioning and what around the locker room? If players happen to get the soft tissue injuries, that's on them and that's on their conditioning for the game, correct? And I'm going to take it off the air, folks.
Craig, thank you for the phone call. The one thing I'll say about Evan Ingram, Coach, you and I are at training camp every day. I'm not worried about Evan Ingram's conditioning. That guy works his tail off. I just think that was old-fashioned bad luck a few weeks ago.
Well, first of all, here's how I look at it. I'm old school. So my biggest thing is I think they have a good set of trainers over there because, they get guys back. Especially last year, there were guys going down. They were coming right back up. And whether or not they were ready 100%, that's an issue. But I blame it on the collective bargaining agreement of cutting the amount of work that those guys do playing football. Their conditioning as far as what they do in the offseason is good enough, in my opinion. But the problem is you don't pull muscles running sprints and doing your conditioning stuff. You pull them playing football. Mm-hmm. And so I don't think when they cut the amount of time that you do OTAs, you don't have double practices and training camp. All those things are a factor because you get into condition to play football playing football. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this, Leon, to that point with Evan Ingram, give Brenton Strange some credit, too, for replacing Evan Ingram, having a great day today.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think the caller also was talking about the fact that this team, mentally and physically, doesn't finish games. We won today, but we should have never been in an outcome where we had to kick a last-second field goal to win it because we had this game in our grasp, and for whatever, and it worked out for us though. But we got to learn how. And once you get a team down, you got to finish them.
Yes,
you got to do whatever you need to do to finish them. You should not be putting yourself in the positions where Joe Flacco scores 17 points in 3 minutes and 20 seconds and bring him back in the game.
Yeah.
That can't happen.
I'm about done with Joe Flacco. He tore us apart last year in Cleveland. He almost did it again. I'm ready for that guy to go into retirement and enjoy, Maui for the rest of his life.
I'm pulling what we've been saying about Trevor for 2 or 3 weeks. He had a guy wide open at the end of the ball game, and he overthrew him.
He did.
So
yeah.
They all do it.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Let's squeeze one more in here. Again, we're going to take phone calls all the way up till 8 o'clock tonight. But we got to get our guy Junior in on the first segment after the first win of the year. Junior in Buffalo, how are you, my friend?
Hey, Hey, gentlemen, how you guys doing? I'm going to enjoy this first win of the season. It took a while, but we were throwback weekend. I really wanted them. Didn't think we're going to be this way, 0-4 going to throwback weekend. The uniforms, amazing. I love those uniforms. I don't know how much I missed those uniforms. Even there was a photo of Big Sirs in his uniform, number 72, was great looking. But I'm going to enjoy this for now. I want to come back. I want a winning streak coming now. I want another game and another game. This is the first one, but get this game under their belt. Let's go to London. Let's get a couple more victories under their belt, and then I'll be really super excited. I wasn't too super excited, but I was happy. I was agreeing with Coach Campbell. I was ready to fire all the defensive coordinators and the defensive coaches if they didn't get that 6 minutes done, but they found a way to win it. Trevor, on his birthday, happy birthday, Trevor, took that team the final few minutes and got them down to kick that winning field goal. How relief when that ball went through the uprights. Again, I'm going to enjoy this one. Let's go to London like we did a year ago and win 2 games back, 3-4 back to Jacksonville.
Junior, appreciate the phone call. And that's what the goal is, right? And, that's what we all talked about last week. It's baby steps. You need to get to 3-4. You get to 3-4, it's a completely new season. You can't get to 3-4 unless you get to 1-4, which is what the Jaguars did. Now the next one is Chicago coming up Sunday in London. With Leon Searcy and Dave Campo, the hacker Ryan Green with you. It is the Window World of Northeast Florida fifth quarter. We are presented by Von Rowan Law. If you're on the line, Drew, Ernesto, Jonathan, the rest of you guys, hang in there. You'll be up on the other side with it till 8 o'clock on a victory Sunday evening here in Jacksonville, Florida. Jacksonville 37, the Colts 34, and yes, Indianapolis has still not won a game in Jacksonville dating back to September of 2014.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyriq.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Lickety Split AC Plumbing and Electric is now hiring. If you have a 5-star mentality to provide world-class custom plumbing or electrical solutions, you should work with Lickety Split. Their team is incredibly supportive, positive, and dedicated to being the best. If you have a valid driver's license with at least 18 months of experience, apply at Lickety Split, an equal opportunity employer offering competitive pay, a service truck, and a $5,000 sign-on bonus. Hiring management positions too. Visit licketysplitfl.com.
If you're looking for custom metalwork, look no further than Superior Fence and Rail. Whether it's custom railing, shade structures, or custom entry gates, their expert team controls the turnkey process. From CAD design and raw metal to powder-coated finish and expert installation. When you choose Superior Fence and Rail for your custom metal project, you get a project that's, well, superior. So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail today.
Wow, John, my Clearwater sprinkler system looks great.
All right, Frank, let's go ahead and program your Rainbird timer. How many minutes do you want the zones to run?
John, I think we run from the front 20, the sides 15, the back 10, the garden 5. Clearwater scores!
Well, that's a first, Frank, but you're the boss.
Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers.
And drainage to
ClearwaterJacks.com. It's the Sporting Jacks Soccer Hour. Join Cole Pepper, Mauricio Ruiz, and Becky Burley as they discuss the latest in the world of soccer, including Sporting Jacks bringing pro men's and women's soccer to Jacksonville. Tuesday nights at 6 on 1010 a.m.
Rake in the savings this fall with Universal Roof and Contract. Enjoy 15% off all roof repairs and replacements with financing options as low as $115 a month. Protecting your home has never been easier. Schedule your free roof inspection today. Call 855-ROOF-HELP. This offer expires October 31st. Protect your home and your wallet. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com. Injured in an accident that's not your fault? Don't worry, Zach's got your back. I'm Zach Von Rowan at Von Rowan Law, and over the past 20 years, I have fought to recover millions from my clients throughout Jacksonville. If you've been injured in an accident, have mounting medical bills, can't work, don't worry. Zach's got your back. I will fight for the compensation that you deserve and will be there every step of the way. Go to Zach'sGotYourBack.com to set up your free consultation with me today. Zach'sGotYourBack.com.
Navy Mutual was created by service members for service members, so we know what it means to serve. Our policies have no active duty service restrictions, so you can rest assured that you're covered no matter your duty station, home or abroad. To go even further, we promise that premiums will not be higher for those who serve in dangerous environments, including aviation, diving, or on deployments. Let us help you protect those you love the most. Learn more at NavyMutual.org.
Hey Googans, Dr. Chris Kopp, PT here with Premier Physical Therapy of Jacksonville. Is pain interfering with your life? Looking for a specialist for the rehab of your young athlete? Whether recovering from injury, surgery, or improving overall function, Premier PT Jax provides personalized treatment with compassionate care. My team of experts are ready to serve you at 3 locations: Ponte Vedra, San Pablo, and US 1 Phillips Highway. Visit PremierPTJax.com or call 904-996-6922. PremierPTJax.com, where your journey to wellness begins.
This college football season, we're celebrating more than touchdowns. It's time to honor playmakers of the classroom. Thanks to FIS and the College Football Playoff Foundation, Gator Bowl Charities is surprising 16 local teachers with $1,000 each week. Every honored teacher gets a special invitation to the Taxslayer Gator Bowl January 2nd to be celebrated on the field. Teachers from Clay, Duval, Nassau, and St. Johns County, grades K through 12 are eligible. Nominate a deserving teacher today, and let's score big for education at TaxslayerGatorBowl.com.
Hey, Jacksonville Koozies, it's me, Soccer Sam, for Salvatore's Pizza. Rochester, New York's favorite pizza is now open in Jacksonville, Florida, Tapestry Park at the Loft Hotel Plaza. Daily $10 deals, dine in with beer and wine, and delivery at Salvatores.com. The famous Formoso family brings Salvatore's Pizza, Rochester's favorite pizza, including our 32-piece sheet pizza for your next event. Go with me, baby. Salvatores.com.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville, putting an extra 60 minutes on the clock. The window world of Northeast Florida 5th quarter. Presented by Von Rowan Law on 1010XL.
Trevor drops and looks. Fires deep downfield. Got a man. That's Brian Thomas Jr. 50 into Colts territory. 35, 30, 25, 10, 5. Touchdown. Brian Thomas Jr. just went 85 yards. How good is that? And the Jags have taken the lead.
Frank Frangie, Jaguars radio on the call. I like Happy Frangie. Happy Frangie is so much a better call than Sad Frangie. We've had Sad Hacker and Sad Campo and Sad Leon for the last 4 weeks, but not today when the Jaguars get it done 37-34 over the Indianapolis Colts. Back to the phone lines in one moment. Every week here on the 5th quarter, we give you a defensive player of the game. That defensive player of the game is brought to you by our friends at Superior Fence and Rail. And RJ, let's do it now. The Superior Fence and Rail defensive player of the game.
Jacksonville's building a fence along the goal line. This is the Superior Fence and Rail defensive player of the game. Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters.
Leon Searcy, it was Trayvon Walker's world, and the Indianapolis Colts offensive line was just living in it. 5 tackles, 3 quarterback sacks. He probably should have had 4. Flacco got rid of it as he was going to the ground when Trayvon had him another time. Probably the best game of Trayvon Walker's career today.
Yeah, easily. You know what? Isn't it refreshing to see Trayvon Walker not dropping in coverage, not trying to cover backs out the backfield? Just put the man's hand in the dirt and let him go get it. I love that part. I love that part about him.
Now, the next thing, Coach, we've seen Walker have spurts like this, and then we've seen him disappear for 3 or 4 games. The next thing with a young player, and Trayvon's still very young, all right, I'm not saying he has to get 3 sacks against Caleb Williams, but let's go out there and get another one or another half a sack and just be a factor again in 7 days.
Well, I still think his main thing is the bull rush, and that's not going to work against everybody. But the one thing I've seen from him, and Leon mentioned it earlier, he's starting to use a few moves. I mean, he's starting to use his hands a little bit more. And to me, that's a big part of it, is to set up and be able to, do what you have to do. And Leon can speak to it more than I can because he played that tackle position, how difficult it is.
Yeah, I mean, his counter move. Because, listen, the offensive lineman, we want you to be straight up and down, come right down our middle, because we're equipped to get our hands on you. But if you give us counter moves, like chops and spins and clubs and all that kind of stuff, then it makes it a little bit more difficult for us.
And I'll tell you the one thing about Walker, too, Leon. We talk about he almost had 4 sacks on Flacco. Mm-hmm. I'll give him credit for a 5th because Hines Allen got his sack because of Trayvon Walker.
Of him.
The pressure that he got inside. Yes, absolutely.
Walker was a stud today. And by the way, some weeks are bad, balky weeks here on 1010XL with us and the Jaguar Nation out there. Some weeks are good, balky weeks. Trent Baalke today? Brian Thomas Jr., Cam Little, Trevor Lawrence, Tank Bigsby, Britton Strange, Ventrell Miller. A lot of these young guys played pretty well today.
He got the gold star today, absolutely.
Jurian actually played okay today.
Yeah. A lot of the young guys earned their stripes today, no question about that. Back to the phone lines we go. It's 641-1010. Let's head out to Jacksonville Beach. Let's get Ernesto in here on 1010XL. Ernesto, what's going on?
It's an honor to be on. I'm telling you, I'm seeing a slow moxie change with that defense. I love how Ventrell Miller and Buster Brown are playing and Monteric. And if we get Tyson Campbell and Andrew Wingard back and shore up our secondary, we're loving it. And if the Jaguars play like the 5th quarter did every day and our losses week after week, we don't have to worry about it because we're like Sir Mix-a-Lot, long and strong and down to get the friction on. Woo!
Ernesto, ladies and gentlemen. How about that? Yeah. It's so much nicer to come in here after wins, right? Look, at the end of the day, they're 1-4. That's reality. But, man, they needed that one. You just get one. That was what I said all week. And, again, I'm not breaking any news here. It's what we all said on 1010XL. Leon, you said it. Coach, you said it. We all said, just get one. And that could kickstart things. Now, we'll find out next week if that kickstarts things. But, Coach, watching the guys leave the field, watching Trevor in the postgame press conference, heck, Doug Peterson in the postgame press conference, it did appear like it was a sigh of relief.
Oh, that's what
like the weight is off the shoulders.
No. Listen, everybody accuses me of not being a pundit, but being a fan. And I'm a fan. I'm telling you that right now. I love doing this, but I'm a fan. And it was a sigh of relief for me. When at the end of that ball game, because this was so important for the going over to London, all of the stuff you have to do. I'm just happy they won, and it's hard to win in this league. Hard.
Leon, why are the offensive tackles playing so much better in the last 2 weeks?
Well, I mean, listen. At some particular, that Buffalo game was nightmarish. Okay, it absolutely was. It was an embarrassment upon embarrassment, and the offensive line probably had a meet and greet, held each other accountable. I mean, the offensive line coach as well. I mean, because that was embarrassing. And ever since that embarrassment against the Buffalo Bills, this offensive line has had shutouts. They got a shutout against the Texans. They didn't give up any pressures or any sacks against the Texans. Had a shutout against the Colts, and they ran the ball well on both games. So that offensive line collectively is doing something where they say, hey, listen, we got to get this thing together. We got to right this ship.
I mean, I'd honestly have to think, did they touch Trevor Lawrence, at all?
No.
They didn't sack him. I don't know if they touched him.
Well, they chased him the one time.
They chased him the one
time. And he still has that signature spin move, which I want to get him to get away from.
Yeah.
Get out the other way. And where you can throw the football.
I mean, the offensive line, I got no problem with what they did today.
Well, listen, when you don't recognize, when you don't say their names, that means they're good.
That's no question. If you don't notice them, that means they're probably doing their job. Let's go to the state of Alabama. Let's get Jonathan in here on the 5th quarter on 1010XL. Jonathan, what do you got?
Oh, I needed this one. Duval.
Oh,
Duval.
Yeah, indeed.
Trevor looked really good today. The defense has got to learn not to give up those late scores to the opposing team in order for us to walk out of there with a win, because we could have put the game away, and we didn't get a chance to put it away until the very end.
Jonathan, there's no doubt about that. And if they would have lost this game, the tone in this city, the tone on this radio program the tone coming out of yours truly would be so drastically different than it is right now. It's amazing. And that's why I go back to Dearness Johnson. That 8-yard gain on 1st and 10 to start that game-winning drive. If he's tackled there and it's 2nd and 12 and the Jaguars go 3 and out, were they going to stop Flacco from getting in a field goal range? Of course not.
Right.
And the Colts would have won, and it would have been a catastrophe football-wise of epic proportions. But that didn't happen. And that goes back, Leon, to responding to adversity. This team has been horrific dating back last year and so far this year in responding to adversity. They did that very well in that final drive.
They did, absolutely. I was a little concerning towards the end because I said, is this going to happen again? Is this team going to find a way not to finish football games, especially when you've got the lead? Because they gave up those 2 big plays. Like I said, they had 17 points in 3 minutes and 20 seconds. They gave up when we had a commanding lead. So to see them, like you said, that run by the running back, monumental, bro.
Huge. You won't find a bigger 8-yard run in the NFL this year, or at least this week, than what Dearness Johnson did on that play.
Dearness Johnson, absolutely.
And he made up for it because it was his fault. He had a face mask that took away one of the Brian Thomas Jr. catches, which cost me some fantasy points, but I'll forgive Dearness for that because of that 8-yard gain there on the opening drive.
And this kind of play can be contagious too, Hat.
Yeah.
Now that they understand that they got themselves in a situation where they did finish, so now they can watch it on film and they can insert for the next game. If they're in that kind of situation, they'll know what to do.
Let's get one more in on this side, and then we're taking calls up until 8 o'clock. If you're on the line, I promise we'll get to you. Let's go out to Fleming Island. Let's get Christopher in on the 5th quarter on 1010XL. Christopher, what's going on?
Oh, my God, Hacker, I still got a voice. Hey, first things first, congrats, man, on losing almost 100 pounds. Health is wealth, my man.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Yeah, actually, I hit the 100-pound mark on Friday, so thank you very much.
Speaking of Friday, Leon, your speech about how they needed to win and on those uniforms, it worked. They won. They did it, man. Your speech was monumental, man. I'm telling you, it worked. So I'm so glad that you said what you said because that got me fired up going home. So with that said, of all the positives, Bigsby running everybody over, oh, my God. Yes, we have our number one, Brian Thomas, but here's for the negatives. Cisco, he has a contract coming up. He has to step up. Coach, you got to dissect him. So what is going on with him?
Christopher, thank you for the phone call. Quickly, Coach, have the safeties been as bad as they look?
They have not played well. I haven't really seen Cisco play well in any ball game to where you say, wow, he's really doing a good job. I don't
think 26 is doing very much either back there.
Well, the problem with 26 is he made a bunch of tackles today. He had like 11 tackles.
Well, that's what happens when they catch the ball in front of you.
Yeah, exactly. He makes a lot of mistakes. And that's going to hurt us in the long run. So I don't think either one of the safeties have played what you would consider a really good ball game. And some of it, I'm telling you, there were a couple coverages I have to look at because I had no idea what they were doing with the safeties.
Leon, what about that speech on Friday?
Well, listen, I made a speech about this was a throwback weekend with TC going in the hall, and man, and when we wore those jerseys back in the day, we repped the city and the county to the fullest. And I said, if they ain't going to go out there and rep the city or the county of Duval, then don't go out there. You shouldn't be wearing those uniforms because we took a great deal of pride in making sure that we represented Jacksonville to the fullest when we were. And by the way, those unis, I'm going to put a petition out that the rest of the season, we just need to roll with those unis.
I agree.
I'm going to sound it. I'm going to be at the top. Anybody else want to come on board, come on.
They look stunning. It was a nice reminder. And Tom Coughlin going into the Pride today, I know that was big for you guys.
Absolutely.
Coach, your relationship with him. Leon, obviously, your great relationship with him. Great day. And the Jaguars win it. 1-4. Not where we wanted, but it's a start. You're starting to ascend now up that ladder. Again, you were the only winless team in the NFL coming into today. Now in the AFC, you're one of 4 teams that are 1-4. Baby steps. Jaguars win. Chicago next in London. We'll talk about that when we get a little closer. But your phone calls, Montana, Sean, Gloria, all of you hang on the line. We'll get to you on the other side. The window world of Northeast Florida brings you the 5th quarter. We are presented by Von Rowan Law with Leon Searcy and Dave Campo. The hacker Ryan Green with you here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
There's something special about radio play-by-play. Always has been. In Jacksonville, your place for play-by-play is 1010XL.
Hello, I'm Jerry Holland, Duval County Supervisor of Elections. Are you ready for the presidential election? The clock is ticking. In Florida, you must register to vote 29 days before an election, which is Monday, October 7th. Please check your voter information before voting. If you've moved, visit us at northfloridavotes.com and update your address. Remember also, avoid the long lines on Election Day and vote early. Check your sample ballot for the nearest location. We'll see you at the polls.
Hey, Jaguars fans, as the official whiskey of the NFL, it's not a kickoff without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. And that's why we've built the Crown Royal Rig. An absurdly awesome 18-wheeler delivering the generous spirit to stadiums and tailgates across the country. Follow the Royal Rig on its journey from city to city, bringing together local cuisine, NFL legends, and the opportunity to pack a purple bag for charity and win tickets to Super Bowl 59. Visit crownroyal.com for rules and more, and please drink responsibly.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting. Bold City AC. Keeping you cool.
Feeling the heat, Jacksonville? Cool down with Bold City Heating and Air. From repairs to energy-efficient installs, we do it all. Family-owned and trusted since 2016, we offer clear pricing, NATE-certified techs, and unbeatable service. Call Bold City Heating and Air today and experience the bold difference.
Bold City AC. Keeping you cool. Bold City AC.
Visit boldcityac.com.
Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, congratulating our Scholar Athlete of the Week, Van Thong, senior football, soccer, and track and field athlete at Ed White High. As Mr. Senior Ed White High, Van participated in ROTC and the Student Government Association.
Yo, yo, yo. You already know it's ET here, and I'm hoping everybody had a profitable betting weekend on MyBookie. And if you did it, guess what? Tonight is your chance to rack it up on Monday Night Football. The New Orleans Saints travel to Kansas City as a 5.5-point underdog against the Chiefs. While it's tough to bet against the Chiefs at home, that's a big enough spread to take a real close look at taking the Saints with the points. The game total is around 43. I can see that going under. Maybe you pound that parlay for an increased payout. And guess what? MyBookie is still running that double deposit bonus. Our listeners can sign up and use promo code 1010XL to claim that bonus that doubles your money on your very first deposit up to $1,000. Then parlay your way to that straight cash, homie. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere, and make your season a winning season on MyBookie. Come on, somebody.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. You hear about guarantees and warranties. What is Underwood's policy?
Frank, to talk about guarantees and warranties, you have to look at our history of over 70 years in business. Underwood's entire reason for existence is and has been to offer fine products that'll be used with such satisfaction that both the giver and the receiver will want to come back. And hopefully they'll tell their friends about us. To do this means we've got to try our hardest to satisfy every customer. All of our people understand that. Now, I'm sure over the years we've made a few mistakes, but we've never failed to make good on any Underwood product that was returned with a legitimate customer complaint. Our entire reputation would mean nothing if we didn't conduct ourselves that way. Simply put, conducting our business with integrity is a lot more important to Underwoods and our customers than all the guarantees, warranties, and contrived legal obligations in the world. And you've got Underwood's word, my word, and all of our people's word on that.
Underwoods in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Bringing you an extra quarter of football.
The window world of Northeast Florida, fifth quarter. Presented by Von Rowan Law on 1010XL.
Cook puts it down. Little kicks it up. And the field goal is good. He drilled it. He drilled the 49-yarder. And the Jags take a 37-34 lead with 17 seconds to play in the ball game.
And the Jags win.
Oh, man, absolutely incredible. Frank Frangie, Jaguars radio on the call. Rookie Cam Little, 49-yarders to essentially to win it. There was still, I believe, 17 seconds to go after that kick. But what a kick by a 21-year-old rookie in that situation. Every week here on the fifth quarter, we do give you a special teams player of the game. That special teams player of the game is brought to you by Crown Royal. Let's do it right now. The Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game.
Now, it's time to showcase the Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game. Live generously and life will treat you royally.
Honorable mention, Leon, to Devin Duvernay, who had that long return that set up one of the touchdowns, I believe the first one for Bigsby. But come on, Cam Little is the special teams player of the game, 49-yarder. And what I loved about it, everybody in that stadium knew what that kick meant. By the way, he misses that kick, Indianapolis would have to complete like a 20-yarder to have their own chance at a game-winning field goal. So you have that pressure. You have a 34-20 lead that evaporated in 3 minutes, that pressure. The pressure of 4 losses in a row coming into this game. You're a 21-year-old rookie to boot. You've never had an opportunity to kick a game winner in the NFL in your life. And Cam Little could not have hit it any more in the middle.
I was straight down the middle.
Straight down the middle from 49 yards.
And here's what I know about kickers, all right? Kickers and punters. We leave them off to the side. They don't really be involved in the game or whatever stuff like that. We tease and poke with them. But when you really need them, it's good to have one like him.
I remember our watering hole, our friends at Island Girl, and we'll be out there, I believe, the next Jaguar home game for Green Bay over on Gate Parkway. I always go there the Saturday of the draft to watch all the picks. And there was a gentleman sitting in there back in April, I guess it was. They drafted Cam Little in the 6th round. He said, "Why are they taking a kicker in round 6?" And I told him, I said, "You might not like it today." And I used the Miami game as an example, or week 1, but it turned out to be week 5. You don't like the pick in April. But when you need a 49-yarder to win the game, to break a 4-game losing streak against a division rival, that's why you draft a kicker. And, Coach, they drafted a great one in Cam Little.
Absolutely, and there were 3 game winners this weekend so far. And
yeah.
There's still a few ball games in going forward here. So there's no question in the NFL, especially when you've got a league where there's a lot of parity and the scores are pretty. You don't see very many of those 41 to 10 games. Most of them are going to be within 3 to 8 points, somewhere in that neighborhood. And the kicker is a huge part of that. If you don't have one, and we've gone through a few where we lost some ball games because of the kicking. So I'm happy we have them. My daughter and son-in-law are Arkansas grads, so that's a nice one for us.
Yeah, Arkansas, it's been a good week. The alum Cam Little with the game winner. They beat Tennessee last night, and a lot of upsets in college football. So good week for the Arkansas Razorbacks and their alum Cam Little. To Mandarin we go. Let's go to my neck of the woods. Let's get Sean in here on the 5th quarter on 1010XL. Sean, what's going on?
Hey, fellas. Leon and Coach brought up already a great point that Trayvon played really well, using some different moves I haven't seen before. I hope he continues to do that. Big next 2 weeks. If we can get to 3 and 4, it really does change the story a little bit. It starts to look a little bit more like 2022 2023 as opposed to 2024. Hopefully they make that happen, and I'll take you guys' comments out the air.
Sean, appreciate it. Yeah, look, the next 2 are vital, but obviously the next 1, don't even worry about New England yet. The Jaguars have very little room for error. If you want a prayer at making the playoffs, you have to get to minimum 9. I don't even know if 9 would get you in, but that's what I'm assuming. It would at least take a chance to get to 9 to get a wild card. And you got the first one today. So now, with that as a backdrop, if you need to get to 9, you got to go 8 and 4 in the next 12. So your room for error is very, very tiny. 1 week at a time.
Yeah.
And you go to London against a rookie quarterback in Caleb Williams next Sunday.
Yeah, but right now you're not even worried about the playoffs. What you're doing is you're saying to yourself, if we play like that, we're going to beat a lot of teams.
Mm-hmm.
You don't worry about Chicago, Patriots. Yeah, you got to watch film on them. Yeah, those teams are. But if that team right there plays like that every Sunday, we're going to beat a lot more teams then we lose to a lot more.
If the offense plays like that.
Offense,
the
the
defense better.
The defense, listen, Nielsen's going to, I can only imagine that film room tomorrow when they break down that film. There's going to be a lot of cursing. A lot of profane words going to be said.
You know what I didn't like on the broadcast? They showed Nielsen.
Yeah,
that was not good. He looked like a guy that literally had no answer.
He was defeated, bro.
He was getting ready to go in and grab a sword and commit Harry Carey. But I've been there in some situations. Not as bad as that. That's the worst I've ever seen to give up 3 big plays like that. That's the only way they could get back in the ball game.
Only way.
But that's another matter. But I can tell you this. I said this on the primetime show last week. As a coach, everybody's looking at only 4 teams have made it from, 0 and 2.
Only one.
Whatever.
Yeah, one.
Only one team from 0 and 2.
Yeah.
I don't look at it that way. I looked at what are we going to do against the Indianapolis Colts.
Right.
Now I'm only looking at what we're going to do against the Chicago Bears.
That's the only way to look at it.
Because it's just like when a team gets a couple touchdowns on ahead of you, you can't do it all with one play. You pick your way down there and win, score 3 here, score 7 there. And then all of a sudden you're in striking distance, and that's what we have to do. We have to play them one at a time.
Let's go to the south side. Let's get Montana in here on the 5th quarter on 1010XL. Montana, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, guys? I played flag football for 40 years. I'm an old guy, 57. Here's the deal. Trevor played great today. Did he not?
He was phenomenal, yeah.
When it came to 4th and 6, early in the game, or 3rd and 6, really, early in the game, the guy did a dig route. He ran right through back into the defense. That's why Trevor had to check down and throw it to the guy that was short. Wasn't Trevor's fault. I've seen this over and over, 1,000 times. Played against David Garrard, played against Jason Kraft. Just Trevor's playing great, and he just kept throwing the ball, kept throwing it on him. And last week when everybody said he overthrew the guy, I think the guy on the left-hand side, the stud guy, let up on his run a little bit because I thought he put it on him. Today, I think he underthrew him a little bit. The guy on the interception, I think he threw it under a little bit. Had he overthrown it, then everybody would be, he overthrew it. But he should have overthrown it versus thrown it under and gotten the pick. But I thought they played great, and the defense was great.
Montana, appreciate the phone call. Everything was great, according to Montana. And he's right. It's great to get a win.
Absolutely.
There's no question about that. Leon, offensively, it's hard to really point out guys that did not play well. I mean, look, Gabe Davis is kind of the one guy that people are looking at because of the issue with Trevor. But again, Trevor said in the postgame, he kind of laughed it off a little bit. I don't think it's going to be that big a deal. I even thought Gabe Davis did some okay things. I don't think he played horribly, but I just think Brian Thomas Jr. and Christian Kirk and Brenton Strange and Tank Bigsby and all these guys were just so good today. You're not going to get that every week. But what's going to be fascinating is when Evan Ingram comes back, because now Brenton Strange's got some confidence. You bring Evan Ingram back, maybe some more 2 tight end looks. There's a lot more options there now.
Well, I mean, here, the key is, Hack, if the offensive line keeps playing the way they're playing, giving him the time and the protection, then it's going to allow those receivers to get those open routes and get separation, all that kind of stuff. Now, if I was to be a particular, because I can be at sometimes as a former offensive line coach, Mitch Moore's had a tendency on some of the run plays to play a little upright. Got pushed back a couple of times on the pass and the run. So he's got to learn. He's got to get underneath his guys because once they see that on film, it can become a problem. If they know that he gets overwhelmed on run plays and on pass protecting plays, he's going to use his leverage a little bit better in games.
Let's get one more in the 6 o'clock hour. Again, we're with you till 8 o'clock. If you're on the line, we will get to you. Let's go to the west side. Get Gloria in here on 1010XL. Gloria, what do you got?
Hey, guys. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're wonderful. How are you?
I'm good. I love you guys. Love the show. You guys do a phenomenal job. Listen, I enjoyed the game. Everybody played well to me. I never gave up on them because I go back to 2022 when they were 2-7, and we were going up on week 10, and everybody threw up their hands and said, this is it, no playoffs. But look what they did. They came back and started peeling off wins. I don't count them out until they're mathematically out of it. So thank goodness for Brian Thomas. Thank goodness we drafted Cam Little and Trevor. You're playing like the quarterback I know you can be. Come on, somebody.
Gloria, I appreciate the phone call. Here's the one thing, right? Remember that day in March where we were constantly refreshing social media? What's Calvin Ridley going to do? All the thought was he was coming back to Jacksonville. And the Tennessee Titans, the hated Titans up in Nashville, the thought was they came in at the 11th hour and pulled one out from the Jaguars and took Calvin Ridley, and everybody was up in arms, right? If that doesn't happen, if Calvin Ridley does not go to Nashville, the Jaguars do not draft Brian Thomas Jr. And I will ask you, Jaguar fans, now for the next 3, 4, 5 years, do you want a soon-to-be 30-year-old Calvin Ridley, or do you want 21-year-old Brian Thomas Jr.? I think that answer pretty much speaks for itself. So on behalf of everybody here in Jacksonville, I think I'll speak to Leon and Coach on this as well. Thank you to the Tennessee Titans for spending $92 million to bring Calvin Ridley up there, because as a result of that action and that action alone, the Jaguars now drafted their wide receiver 1 for the next decade, and his name is Brian Thomas Jr.
Want to be up close and personal with the Jaguars as they take the field? Here's your chance to be in the shadows, outside the Jaguars locker room, now called The Vault. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows. One winner and a guest for every home game at Everbank Stadium. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents in 50 United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry periods for the Shadow Sweepstakes promotion from 8/19/24 to 12/15/24. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsored administrator, Everbank N.A. member FDIC.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. Dandy subs and sandwiches. Look, we always want you to think about those great options as you're driving around Duval. But the beauty is, even as I'm dropping pounds, Dandy's got great options for me as well. Told you all about their protein packs, delicious salads that they have out there. They have fruit cups for on the go. You know what they have. Veggie snack trays. You can grab those on the go as well. Perfect, healthy snack. Dandy is the name to know when you're on the go. So stop into a Gate store anywhere around Duval and make yours a dandy, and do it today.
It's not just about relaxing. Fishing can be exciting.
That's a big fish in the box right there.
Captain Kevin and the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show. Brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss and Veterans Wholesale Cabinets.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010 a.m.
When you're behind the wheel of your car, you expect a safe journey. But what if the other driver's careless and you're injured? The responsibilities and demands on your spouse just doubled. You suddenly can't work. So what happens to your family's income? And by now, the emergency room and medical bills may be sitting on your kitchen counter. You've got some problems, and we want to hear about them. Call us at 396-5555. Farah and Farah, protecting you and your family since 1979. Office, Jacksonville.
Home of the Jaguars, 1010XL, WJXL AM and FM, Jacksonville Beach. When Jag News breaks, hear it first on 1010XL.
Hey sports fans, it's Hayes Carlion from MyBookie, hoping everyone had a profitable betting weekend on MyBookie. If you didn't, you have Monday Night Football tonight. The New Orleans Saints travel to Kansas City as 5.5-point underdogs to the Chiefs. While it's tough to bet against the Chiefs at home, that's a big enough spread to take a real close look at taking the Saints and the points. The game total is around 43. I can see that going under. Maybe you pound a parlay for an increased payout. MyBookie is still running the double deposit bonus. Our listeners can just sign up and use promo code 1010XL to claim a bonus that doubles your money on your very first deposit up to $1,000. You heard that right. Double your money with 1010XL before you even place a bet. Sign up. Use promo code 1010XL to claim your double deposit bonus, then parlay your way to cash. Bet on anything, anywhere, anytime, and make your season a winning season with MyBookie.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is the window world of Northeast Florida 5th quarter. Presented by Von Rowan Law on 1010XL.
Trevor drops and looks. Fires deep downfield. Got a man. It's Brian Thomas Jr. 50 into Colts territory. 35, 30, 25, 10, 5. Touchdown. Brian Thomas Jr. just went 85 yards. How good is that? And the Jags have taken the lead.
Frank Frangie, Jaguars Radio. Brian Thomas Jr., the longest touchdown catch of his career. In fact, it was the longest touchdown for the Jaguars dating back to 2015. You got to go back to Allen Robinson's 90-yarder against New Orleans in 2015 to find a longer one before today. Brian Thomas Jr. over 100 yards receiving as well. Every week on the fifth quarter, we give you a play of the game. That play of the game is brought to you by our friends at Performance Painting. Let's do it right now, RJ, the Performance Painting play of the game.
Now, the Performance Painting High Performance play of the game. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Coach Campo, what can that do to a young kid's confidence? A 21-year-old in his fifth game, Brian Thomas Jr., an 85-yard touchdown catch.
Well, I don't think he lacks for confidence. I mean, I've watched him since he got here, and he hung with the veteran guys right from the beginning. He is not afraid to show his emotion in the game. You have to keep an eye on that sometimes with some of those guys, but I don't think he lacks for confidence. I think he's just, when something like that happens, it's just like winning a ball game. It just tells you, hey, man, this feels good. I want to do this a lot. All I have to do is get myself in position, and Trevor will get me the ball, and we can make something happen here.
Leon, I'll give you another one. Tank Bigsby this entire offseason, I'm not going to throw stones in a glass house. I was very critical of Tank Bigsby this offseason. I think we all were. Fumbles, right? That's all we talked about. I said it many times. Again, you can go back to the tape. I can't hide it. I think Tank Bigsby fumbled the ball more than he had first down runs last year. Mm-hmm. Having said that, obviously Tank Bigsby heard all that criticism from the fans, media alike. I know he did because he talked about it in training camp.
Yeah.
And how he's used that as motivation, whatever he's done, brother, it's worked. Because Tank Bigsby is a force for this Jaguar offense right now.
Well, that's how you answer the bell. I mean, you don't cower and cringe. You come out swinging. And I was saying the same thing about him last year because the expectations for him, we thought we were going to have a two-back scenario, with him and Travis Etienne. But right now, if you watch the last couple of games, he's outshining Travis Etienne, to be quite honest with you. Me and Coach was talking about this to a point where Etienne will become trade bait at some particular time. I mean, if Tank keeps rolling the way he's rolling. Now, don't get me wrong, Etienne still is viable. I mean, out the backfield, catches and all that kind of stuff. Still has amazing speed. He has home run speed or whatever. But if Tank keeps running the way he's running, man, he may become expendable.
Make no mistake about it. I like both guys an awful lot. I'm happy Travis is here, but it's now a 1-2 combo. Mm-hmm. It's a thunder and lightning type deal. Mm-hmm. It's Travis Etienne and Tank Bigsby, or at least it better be moving forward. You got to get both guys involved in the offense. Let's go down to Melbourne as we start back up here on the phone lines. Again, all phone calls here on the fifth quarter as well as on every show on 1010XL presented by the Garber Auto Mall phone line. Let's go down to Melbourne. Let's get Steve on here on 1010XL. Steve, what do you got?
Hey, not too much, guys. Happy about the win. Hack, congrats on the goal, man. Congrats to you.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that.
Oh, man. I enjoyed the game, Trevor. It took you 5 games to finally show up and give us the $55 million Trevor version of you. Tank Bigsby, you are my running back one. BTJ, you are him. Coach, we got to figure out this secondary because they're giving me heart attacks, or at least possibility of heart attacks. And Leon, finally, I gotta thank you to some advice I hear you on the show, giving your thoughts and everything on just how to treat some of these players, and that's what I do with the 10-year-olds I coach. Go out there and play ball. Just play ball. As long as I teach you how to do it and you are anchoring down on the offensive line, you know your gap responsibility and everything like that, just go out there and play ball.
Steve, thank you for the phone call. Coach, the return of Tyson Campbell, when that happens, it's going to happen sooner rather than later. I think his window could open this week. 4 games is what you miss on the temporary IR, and this was the 4th game he's missed. Will that solve the issues in the secondary? Will that help the issues in the secondary when Tyson Campbell returns?
Well, let me just say this. I mean, he's got the talent to be a Pro Bowl corner, so he has to help. The question is going to be who goes where, because Darby's really struggled. I'm surprised a little bit, that he's struggled as much as he has. They may go with Monteric and move him over to the other side because I think Monteric has probably played better than he has. So, listen, you can't have enough corners. So there's no question that he makes a difference. My concern is that now they're playing so much zone defense that if the safeties aren't where they're supposed to be and in position to help people, you got a problem playing zone. Right now they're playing bend but don't break, and that's okay. You can't give up 65 and 55-yard touchdown passes, though, when you're playing bend but don't break. So somewhere along the line, somebody's making a mistake. That's the issue.
Leon, same question. We've talked about a lot of young offensive guys. I want to focus on Ventrell Miller. This is 2 weeks in a row where 51 was all over the place. All over the place.
Mm-hmm.
They found something in Ventrell Miller, right? I mean, that guy's a player.
He's got a molder. And like you said, he sees, he seeks, he destroys. That's what you want in your linebacker, right? I mean, there's no hesitation. I mean, he doesn't flinch. And that's the reason why there might be some concern. I mean, don't get me wrong, Lil Khan going down is a big factor, right? I mean, you're talking about a guy who averages, 150, 200 tackles a year, right?
Well, I think when Oluwakin comes back, I want 23 and 51 out there.
Yeah, that might be the scenario, especially because they watch the film. They see who's struggling and see who's reacting, who's playing well, and you want your best fit guys to play in the game, no matter seniority, draft pick, or whatever. Because usually tendencies, to be quite honest with you, the first rounds usually get the tendency. But if he's out playing, he's outshining them, then you got to play him.
Well, I don't necessarily mean for that coach to be an indictment of Devin Lloyd. I don't think Devin Lloyd's been necessarily bad. Right. But I'll tell you this, I noticed 51 out there a lot more than I noticed 33 out there.
Well, the thing with 51 is, and I saw it right from the beginning, and I'm not blowing my own horn.
I was with you. I heard you at training camp.
Yeah. The one thing I like about him is what Leon said in a way. When the ball is snapped, he's moving. There's no hesitation to what he does. The only deterrent he has right now is that he's a rookie, and pass defense-wise, that's not his strength right now. But can he close on guys? Can he see the ball and go get it like you're talking about? He's got speed. He's one of those guys that can go underneath blocks and make plays. He isn't one that has to come across and take on a blocker and do all those things. Let me tell you something. They said Ray Lewis was a thumper, and Ray Lewis was a thumper. But Ray Lewis could go underneath a block and run down guys and wouldn't have to touch anybody. And that's Ventrell Miller. He has that instinct and eyes. He's kind of the Bigsby of the linebackers. He's got really good eyes, and he's got speed, and he goes. He's got instincts.
That looks like a really good fourth-round pick right now in the 2023 draft. Let's head back to Mandarin. Let's get Art in here on 1010XL. Art, what's going on?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. Speaking of number 51, not the same style of play, but the last number 51 we saw running around out there playing linebacker was Kevin Hardy, and he was wearing those old Jag uniforms that we saw out there today. So, Leon, first of all, to see those old unis back on the field, how much was it to you to see us bring home a victory in those uniforms rather than desecrate them with a loss to the Colts tonight?
Well, I can appreciate it because the ghost of the throwbacks kind of was reminding me of how we played back in the day. So it was good to see this team play with some intensity and some energy this Sunday.
641-1010 is the phone number. If you want to get in, there is room for you. We'll take you up till 8 o'clock tonight here on the fifth quarter on 1010XL and on 92.5 FM. Let's head out to Neptune Beach. Let's get Tommy in here on 1010XL. Tommy, what's going on? Tommy, are you there? Tommy going once.
Sorry, guys. I was on mute there.
All good, buddy.
Hey, appreciate taking my call again. I called in last week. Definitely, emotions are a lot higher than previous. But, again, offensive line did their job today. And, Trevor's birthday, you got to show out, especially with all the Hall of Famers there. And my biggest thing is, yes, we did get a win, but why are we putting Dearness Johnson in there so much while we have Tank going off and ETN going off? And go Jags.
Tommy, appreciate it. Easy on Dearness Johnson. Again, he had that 8-yard run that I thought was key in that game-winning drive. Quickly, Leon, I asked you about this last week, but I'll ask you again because now that it happened, seeing Coughlin go into the Pride, seeing TC go into the Pride today. I know the relationship you have with him had to be a special moment for you.
Yeah, it was good to see TC. Well-deserved. Should have been a long time ago. I mean, just like not only the Ring of Honor, but in the NFL Hall of Fame as well. I mean, he's a candidate for that as well. But, yeah, TC, listen, we needed, as much as we teased TC about what he was to us as a coach, how strenuous, what we needed that. As a young team like that coming through the ranks, we needed that kind of discipline to be able to play the ball that we played back then. We were tough, physical, ran the ball, played great defense. We weren't going to make a lot of mistakes. And you're going to have and when you played us, it was a full-course meal. There wasn't no appetizers. It wasn't no appetizers, right? We won a lot of games because of his style of coaching that we played in the late 90s.
And, Coach, I know you competed against Tom Coughlin a bunch.
Well, I just saw an interview that he did with Brian Sexton.
Yeah.
And that interview really depicted him from the standpoint that not only was he a great football coach, and what he did was almost impossible, what he did with the young Jaguar team when he got here. And he said he started it by going to Rochester Institute of Technology back, his first coaching job, a young guy. He was a head coach there. They started from a club program, and that's when I was at Albany State University, so we played against them back in the day.
Wow.
But he had to do everything in that program. He had to, put the schedule together. He had to hire the equipment people. He had to get the equipment. He had to do everything. So that when he took over the Jaguars, it was a big job because he had to do everything. They didn't play the first year. So what he did is unbelievable. But the thing that stuck out to me more than anything else when you hear him talk is not only is a great football coach, but he is empathetic. He cares about people. He may come off gruff, but what he's done with the J Fund is almost impossible as well. Just what we did here at 1010XL the first year, they made $15,000. This past year, $700 and something thousand. That's what he's done for this community, and he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame for the NFL, and he's now in it for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, it was great to see Tom Coughlin go in, have his name on that wall, and to honor him and honor all the legends that were back this weekend with a victory like that. Made for a very good Sunday here in the city of Jacksonville. We're with you till 8 o'clock, Jacksonville. It is the window world of Northeast Florida fifth quarter. We're presented by Von Rowan Law. We'll give you a drive of the game. If you're on the line, Brian, Marino, Frank, all you guys, hang in there. I promise we will get to you. There is room for you also at 641-1010. Let's update you on the late games. Now, Houston won today. Houston goes to 4-1 on the year. The Titans were off. They're 1-3. Indianapolis falls to 2-3. The Jaguars with a win go to 1-4. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. Not to get too far ahead, but Jacksonville plays Chicago next week in London. If Jacksonville wins that game, you know what two teams play each other next week? Indianapolis goes to Nashville to play the Titans. Barring a tie, one of those teams is going to get their fourth loss. It's baby steps after 0-4. You got to matriculate your way back up the ladder, right? Back up the standings. If you beat Chicago, all of a sudden then you're going to be tied in the loss column with either the Titans or the Colts. And that's what you got to do. 1 week at a time, 1 week at a time. By the way, the late games, Denver's about to go to 3-2. The Raiders are about to drop to 2-3. Denver up 34-18. Green Bay 24-19 up on the Rams. Green Bay trying to run out the clock. About 3 minutes to go. Good one between the Giants and the Seahawks. Giants 23-20 at the 2-minute warning. And wow, the Arizona Cardinals beat the San Francisco 49ers. 24-23, Arizona the win. 49ers now 2-3 on the year. Cardinals are also 2-3. So a lot of upsets, man. In the NFL, you just never know. Your phone calls next. Fifth quarter rolls on. 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Tensions build.
3rd and 12. Let's go.
Plot thickens.
We got to get off the field.
Crowds roar. Tune in and let the show begin. Your home for live play-by-play is 1010XL.
Mia here, hoping everyone had a profitable betting weekend on MyBookie. If you did, you have Monday Night Football tonight to up those numbers even further. If you didn't, you have Monday Night Football tonight to get right. The New Orleans Saints travel to Kansas City as 5.5-point underdogs to the Chiefs. While it's tough to bet against the Chiefs in KC, that's a big enough spread to take a real close look at taking the Saints with the points. The game total is around 43. I could see that going under. Maybe you pound a parlay for an increased payout. MyBookie is still running the double deposit bonus. Our listeners can just sign up and use promo code 1010XL to claim a bonus that doubles your money on your very first deposit up to $1,000. You heard that right. Double your money with promo code 1010XL before you even place a bet. Sign up using promo code 1010XL to double your money. Bet on anything, anytime, anywhere, and make your season a winning season with MyBookie. And don't forget that promo code 1010XL.
Jacksonville, are you ready? The college basketball season is tipping off with an epic in-state showdown. The Florida Gators and South Florida Bulls go head-to-head in the Jacksonville Sports Foundation Invitational. Be there Monday, November 4th at Veterans Memorial Arena and witness this in-state rivalry live. Secure your seats now at Ticketmaster.com. It's Florida versus South Florida to start the college basketball season on November 4th in Jacksonville. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Have you tried golfing at the improved Cimarron Golf Club? If you haven't, tell you what, you're missing out on the best deal in Jacksonville. Now, many of you have received a postcard in the mail, and of course, if you bring that with you, $45 plus tax to play. That includes a cart, lunch, and a beer at the brand new Stone Barrel Tap House. Now, go to the website, that is CimarronGolfClub.com, and sign up for the Wild One Loyalty Program. That's the Wild One Loyalty Program, and get all of these specials emailed to you from Cimarron.
Lickety Split AC Plumbing and Electric is now hiring. If you have a 5-star mentality to provide world-class custom plumbing or electrical solutions, you should work with Lickety Split. Their team is incredibly supportive, positive, and dedicated to being the best. If you have a valid driver's license with at least 18 months of experience, apply at Lickety Split, an equal opportunity employer offering competitive pay, a service truck, and a $5,000 sign-on bonus. Hiring management positions too. Visit licketysplitfl.com.
When they were little, the other girls played with dolls.
Aww.
They played with footballs.
Who's that? Yes, it's us.
Helmets and heels.
From the First Coast Lighting Studios at 1010XL.
Weekdays noon to 2.
Some girls have all the fun.
Before termites attack your home or business and cause costly damage, Terminix it. At Terminix, we know how to stop termites. These destructive pests have been around for millions of years, but before they show up, so do we. And their time is up. Don't live with a termite problem? Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TerMinix.com. TerMinix.com. Terminix it.
Wow, John, my Clearwater sprinkler system looks great.
All right, Frank, let's go ahead and program your Rainbird timer. How many minutes do you want the zones to run?
John, I think we run from the front 20, the sides 15, the back 10, the garden 5. Clearwater scores!
Well, that's a first, Frank, but you're the boss.
Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers.
And drainage to
ClearwaterJacks.com. After a storm passes, the assessment of the aftermath begins. Sometimes damage to the roof is obvious, like leaks or missing shingles, broken or damaged gutters, or tree debris. But storm damage is not always as clearly present. Universal Roof and Contracting is here to help and will come assess your roof for any hidden damage. Call Universal Roof to schedule your free roof inspection at 855-ROOF-HELP or visit universalroof.com. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
Everything about the game has changed, except for the most important thing. What you have inside. It is what drives the game. It refuses to be ignored. It sweats every day, turns an athlete into a legend. Gatorade, is it in you?
From Gatorade Zero to Gatorade Endurance Formula and Gator Light, there's something for every athlete. Find it at your local Winn-Dixie. It's a win-win. Gatorade, official partner of the NFL.
Injured in an accident that's not your fault?
don't worry. Zach's got your back. I'm Zach Von Rowan at Von Rowan Law, and over the past 20 years, I have fought to recover millions from my clients throughout Jacksonville. If you've been injured in an accident, have mounting medical bills, can't work, don't worry. Zach's got your back. I will fight for the compensation that you deserve and will be there every step of the way. Go to Zach'sGotYourBack.com to set up your free consultation with me today. Zach'sGotYourBack.com.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville, putting an extra 60 minutes on the clock. The window world of Northeast Florida fifth quarter. Presented by Von Rowan Law on 1010XL.
They toss it to the left to Tank. He cuts it back to the middle of the field. That's good running. Tank bases into the open field. 45, 40, 35, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Tank Bigsby has exploded for another score. 65 yards. How good is that? And the Jags extend the lead.
Frank Frangie, Jaguars Radio. Jacksonville, a 37-34 winner over the Indianapolis Colts. Every week here on the fifth quarter, we do give you a drive of the game. That drive of the game is brought to you by our friends at Randy Marion Cadillac. RJ Saunders, let's do it right now. The Randy Marion Cadillac drive of the game.
Now, the Randy Marion Cadillac drive of the game. Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville. Drive to the game in luxury with Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville.
Leon Searcy, 8 plays, 39 yards, 2:23 off the clock. It set up Cam Little's game-winning 49-yard field goal. Yep. That is this week's drive of the game. Put yourself in that offensive huddle. Defense has, well, quite frankly, let you down. From 34-20 to 34-34, what's going on in that offensive huddle knowing you need a field goal to win it?
Well, to be honest, we're probably saying our defense sucks, and let's go win the game. I'm going to be honest with you. You give up back-to-back plays like that, we're talking about them in the huddle. We're not going to say it in front of them. So we're probably in the huddle say, hey, man, let's go win this thing. All right, let's figure out a way to get down here, get ourselves in a position where we can kick a field goal and go home and be happy. Yeah, so the offense found a way to finish the game, unlike the last couple of weeks. So it was good. It was good to see.
And, Coach, when you lose 3 heartbreakers, you then are on the borderline of having a 4th heartbreaker, but you claw your way out of it and you get a win. I don't know. That might mean a little more than just that. 34-20 would have been awesome, and we would have had a great time. The fact that they did have to respond to that horrific adversity, I think, does mean a little something extra, does it not?
It does, absolutely. We talked about it earlier in the show. It brings about confidence that you can, under any circumstance, you can come back. I think once you lose a few in a row, you start kind of feeling like, here we go again. And I was a little nervous about it because the drive prior to that one, it was about 6 minutes left.
3 and out. It was horrific.
3 and out, 3 passes.
Yeah.
No clock time off. And that's kind of what happened last week.
And it happened against Miami, too. It would have been the third time.
Yeah. So I was a little nervous about that. And to see them execute like that was great. And listen, that's how you have to do it in this league. We say it all the time defensively. Don't put time left on the clock for good quarterbacks in this league. Mm-hmm. And most of them are pretty good. So you don't want to leave a lot of time. They left too much time. We took advantage of it this week for sure.
Let's go to Fruit Cove as we hit back the phone lines at 641-1010. Let's go to Marino here on the fifth quarter. Marino, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Doing good. Hey, awesome game by the Jaguars today. I loved it. Everybody played good. Brian Thomas Jr., I'm telling you, man. Love that guy. I'm glad we picked him up in the draft. I just got one thing to say about Trevor, though. I just don't know why he threw that ball towards the end zone in, triple coverage. I don't know. It seems like he keeps on making, the same dumb mistakes over and over and over. I realize that we won and everything, but, he's got to stop that because, during the end of the season, it can really cost us. All right, I'll take it off the line.
Marino, appreciate it. It's the NFL. Aaron Rodgers threw 3 picks today in London. I mean, it's going to happen. Do I want it to happen? Do we want it to happen? No. But, Leon, Trevor Lawrence has gotten a lot of grief from a lot of people in the first month. On a day, he goes 28 of 34 for 371 yards. I'll give him a little slack on one bad decision.
Yeah, it was one bad throw. Yeah, but he had an outstanding game, absolutely. He only had, 6 incomplete passes?
6, yeah.
So, yeah, outstanding. His deep ball, we were concerned about him missing on the deep balls last week. That was rectified. He hit on a couple of good, outstanding deep balls today. One to Brian Thomas Jr. and one to Christian Kirk. He looked but it boils down to protection. He had all the time in the world to throw those passes. So, I know as much as we talk about Trevor, the offensive line for the back-to-back weeks has kept him clean. If you could keep them clean without weapons, and some of the guys are going to be coming on that's going to get a little healthier, we can put up some numbers on people.
This is a Jaguar show, obviously, but from an Indianapolis perspective, and obviously we won't talk about it now until again next year, September of 2014, since they won a game here. That's obviously a coincidence, but Leon, that's weird at this point, right? A decade, and they play here every year that they haven't won in the stadium?
That's a long time. And I can tell you this, that discussion, it was probably being made during the week that they haven't won here in Jacksonville. The motivation, the team is down. Let's go in there and get a win.
It was on the front page of the Indy Star.
Absolutely.
It's a story up there now.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a big deal. When you can't beat a team for like 10 years at their house, that's a big deal.
I'll tell you this, Coach. Again, not to break down the X's and O's of the Colts, but I do like Shane Steichen. I think he's a good coach.
Yeah. Double pass, big play. He does a good job with his guys. And, hey, it's a big win. I don't care who we're playing. And I don't know about those games. We had a stretch back with the Cowboys in the day where we won 9 straight against the Washington Redskins, which was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you just feel like you got a little voodoo on them, whatever it is.
Well, they call it the Duval curse up there.
Well, there you go. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll be asked about it the entire week next year when they come here in 2025 until they ultimately win.
Right.
Well, I think Joe told me a little about this curse. They used us to get another team to go somewhere else, something like that. Joe Cowell said
the Baltimore
deal.
Baltimore Colts turning the Indy Colts. Yeah.
Okay, I got you. All right, so then the hell with them.
That might have something to do with it. I guess I never thought about it like that.
It's a curse.
Yeah.
Let's head to the south side. Let's get Brian in here on 1010XL. Brian, what's going on?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
I have a few. I wanted to give Trevor kind of go the opposite route here, give Trevor his due accolades for that game. 82, 83% passing percentage and the great deep ball to Kirk. The Brian Thomas pass was a little bit easier, but, he still got to hit him. And I thought he made some clutch throws, one on a third down to Gabe Davis over the middle, hit him in the numbers. Yeah, he had the one bad pass, but I agree with you guys. Everyone makes a bad pass here and there in an NFL game. One thing that concerned me, though, the most was more had to do with coaching again. These short yardage third and fourth downs, you got 1 or 2 yards to gain, and we still can't seem to get the plays to convert on those. That, along with somewhat of a Ryan Nielsen breakdown at the end of the fourth quarter. It seemed like we're in man coverage when Cisco gets burnt by Alec Pierce. The coaching, if anything, still concerned in those key instances in the game to me. So I'll take my call on the air and appreciate you guys.
Brian, appreciate it. They did develop the quarterback sneak in the last couple of games, which finally. All right, it's been 90 minutes. We got a positive. Let's at least get something on the negative. I don't understand it. I never will understand it. And at this point, I guess I'm just not supposed to understand it. Why Doug Peterson leaves points on the field every single game. It's 7-0. It's 4th and 2. You got a 42-yard field goal to make it 7-3, and they go for it. Why, Coach Campo?
You're preaching to the choir. I love all this analytics talk because analytics, and I heard they asked this question to Tom Coughlin.
Oh, I bet that was a good answer.
And he said, my analytics are right here, and he pointed at his stomach. And that's mine as well. And the problem that you have is you got to look at what's been happening. And we have not been, regardless of analytics, we have not been that successful on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1 and whatever it is. So when you're having trouble scoring points, which we have been, you have an opportunity to at least put points on the board after they drove the length of the field on the first drive. You take the points. And then he went against the analytics when they got down there the second time.
Well, because he knew if he went for it then and he didn't get it, he might not make it back to the locker room.
Exactly. So, to me, I just don't understand that mentality. Now, I don't mind being aggressive, but
there's aggressive and there's dumb, and we're at the point now where it's dumb.
Yeah, and I don't want to call anybody dumb.
No, I'm calling the decision dumb.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, that one really, I threw my sheet of paper that I was writing down on that one.
There will be a case study, Leon, whenever Doug Peterson's no longer the coach here. Maybe it's a decade from now. Hopefully it is. There will be an interesting case study to add up the amount of points he left on the field by going for it on fourth down and not getting it during his coaching tenure here, because it is adding up very quickly, and it's added up very quickly in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, he's got to be close to 100.
Oh, my gosh.
Easily.
And again, I try not even to get mad about after fourth and goal last week where the quarterback draw failed, I just wipe my hands with it. I don't even get mad anymore. I just get befuzzled at this point as to why he continues to do it.
It doesn't make any sense because the Colts went, listen, flipping Flacco went 7 of 7 for 75 yards and a touchdown, all right? You drive down there, and you're in that situation, you got to take points. You can't walk away with zero because now the momentum shifts back to the Colts because not only that they scored, but they've stopped you. So, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. You kick the field goal, at least you know you're in the game.
Correct.
You're in the game. Now, you missed the fourth down. Now the Colts, they've got all the momentum. So it's just about keeping your team in the game. And the only way you keep your team in the game is you make smart decisions as a coach and you take the points. Now, me and Coach old school.
To me, when you get aggressive like that as much as they do, in my mind, now this is not I'm no longer coaching and I made a lot of mistakes, but the one thing I can tell you from a defensive standpoint, when a coach goes for fourth downs as much as some of these guys do, they don't have any confidence in their defense.
That's seemingly what it looks like.
They're trying to get the extra points so that they don't have to, have to deal with it at the end of a ball game with their defense. So to me, you go get the points.
Now,
period.
If I'm going to rip Doug Peterson for 3 minutes, I'm also going to give credit for a little bit here. That challenge, a great challenge. Yeah. A lot of people didn't even. I thought watching it on, rapid fire. Like, I don't know if he got there, but I didn't think there'd be enough to overturn it. They challenged it. They overturned it. And the Jaguars got the ball back because of that challenge by Doug Peterson. So, again, if I'm going to rip him on fourth down for not going for the points, you got to give him credit because that was a great challenge and probably saved him at least 1 or 2 possessions. No question about it.
And it surprised me that they didn't go for it on that one because it was inches. They could have gone up there and run another quarterback sneak and they would have got it.
They tried to draw the Jaguars off and it didn't work.
Right, exactly.
Let's quickly go to Ponte Vedra. Let's get Gib in here on 1010XL. Gib, what's happening?
Hey, y'all. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
So obviously it was a huge day for Tank. Just great energy there. Really exciting to see that. But just, you can't overlook that ETN had a pretty crucial role in the win as well, particularly receiving out of the backfield. I'd just like to hear y'all's thoughts on where the running back position is moving forward. Just is it going to be trading snaps or, what does that look like for y'all?
Gib, thank you. Yeah, I mean, look, I think we talked about it a little earlier, but just to elaborate, Leon, to me it's Tank Bigsby and Travis Etienne or Travis Etienne and Tank Bigsby. I want both guys heavily involved in the offense. I don't think we have an RB1. This is nothing against Etienne. I love Travis Etienne. I think he's a vital part of this team. But I don't need Travis Etienne carrying the ball 22 times and Tank Bigsby carrying it 4 times. Right. That, to me, is over. Yep. You need a 1-2 combo like a David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs in Detroit. Mm-hmm. And they go about 50-50, Montgomery versus Gibbs in that offense. And they're on the field together as well. That's what I want here in Jacksonville because Bigsby's earned that.
Yeah, I would be comfortable with both of them getting at least collectively at least 20 touches, whether it be running the ball or out the backfield. Because now you can also, what Coach was talking about this earlier, when it comes to ATN, you can motion him and put him in the slide. Now he's a mismatch for anybody. If a linebacker slides over there, it's a mismatch. If you walk down to safety, it could be a mismatch as well because he's got that speed out the backfield. Yeah, and then Tank Bigsby, he's got the vision. He's got the pounder. He doesn't mind running in between the tackles, and he's shifty. He's got that jump cut move, all right? I mean, I know it was throwback Sunday, but it looked a little, dare I say, a little Fred-ish and MJD-ish. And that run that he made and he scored that touchdown.
When he ran that one, that's exactly what I thought with that
Yes.
uniform. It looked just like him. Isn't that something?
Absolutely.
We think alike.
Yes.
I love that one. Yeah.
Great minds think alike, and we do as well. No question about that. RJ, Darren, the rest of you guys hang in there. One more segment of phone calls. If you call right now, we will do our best to get you in. We'll take you up until 8 o'clock tonight with the Pro Bowler, Leon Searcy, and the head coach, Dave Campo. I'm the hacker, Ryan Green. One segment to go on a victory Sunday night here in Jacksonville, Florida. The Jaguars 37, the Indianapolis Colts 34.
Bet live with Hard Rock Bet. Real-time wagering till the very last play. Missing the kickoff doesn't mean all bets are off.
Delay a game on the guy who hasn't bet yet.
Sometimes you just know your team is going to come back. The sportsbook for every kind of player.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Get up to $100 back if your first bet doesn't win. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's the Mangler.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyriq.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
If you're ready to transform your yard with a fence that stands out, elevate your curb appeal with Superior Fence and Rail. Superior takes pride in offering first-class service, friendly installers, and unmatched fence products. Mention this ad and get $250 off your next project. It's time to get off the fence and call today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Jags Hall of Famer Tony Baselli puts on his gold jacket every Monday morning at 7:20 on The Drill.
Does look good.
It's Hall of Fame Monday with Tony Baselli.
Good? It's great.
Brought to you by Heritage Roofing of North Florida on 1010XL.
Bold City AC, keeping you cool.
Feeling the heat, Jacksonville? Cool down with Bold City Heating and Air. From repairs to energy-efficient installs, we do it all. Family-owned and trusted since 2016, we offer clear pricing, NATE-certified techs, and unbeatable service. Call Bold City Heating and Air today and experience the bold difference.
Bold City AC, keeping you cool. Bold City AC.
Visit boldcityac.com.
Hey, Jacksonville Koozies, it's me, Soccer Sam, for Salvatore's Pizza. Rochester, New York's favorite pizza is now open in Jacksonville, Florida, Tapestry Park at the Loft Hotel Plaza. Daily $10 deals, dine in with beer and wine, and delivery at salvatores.com. The famous Formoso family brings Salvatore's Pizza, Rochester's favorite pizza, including our 32-piece sheet pizza for your next event. Go with me, baby. Salvatores.com.
Check it out, the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence. At Verizon, you can get it when you trade in any phone from one of their top brands.
Any?
Any.
Even if it's 4 years old?
Yeah.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk?
Yep.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk, then a scooter runs it over, so now it's not just old and cracked, but shattered?
With Verizon, the answer is always yes. New and existing customers can trade in any phone from one of our top brands in any condition for the new iPhone 16 Pro with unlimited Ultimate. Trade-in terms apply. See Verizon.com for details. Apple Intelligence coming fall 2024.
This college football season, we're celebrating more than touchdowns. It's time to honor playmakers of the classroom. Thanks to FIS and the College Football Playoff Foundation, Gator Bowl Charities is surprising 16 local teachers with $1,000 each week. Every honored teacher gets a special invitation to the Taxpayer Gator Bowl January 2nd to be celebrated celebrated on the field. Teachers from Clay, Duval, Nassau, and St. Johns County, grades K through 12 are eligible. Nominate a deserving teacher today, and let's score big for education at taxslayergatorbowl.com.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood Jewelers. Clayton, you have told us about buying better quality diamonds, but is there any way to start with a smaller diamond and use it to trade up to a larger diamond later on?
Frank, it's interesting you'd ask that because our founder, H.F. Underwood, popularized growing your diamond here in Jacksonville about 50 years ago, and it's something we still do today. When a customer buys an Underwood engagement ring or solitaire diamond pendant or a pair of ear studs, we guarantee they get the price they paid for it on the purchase of any larger diamond. Now, a lot of stores would say, big deal. We do that too, but here's the Underwood difference. We guarantee you get what you paid when you trade in your Underwood diamond, even if you're trading up by only $1. It's not that you have to trade up 2 for 1 like most jewelers ask. There have been literally thousands of people in the Jacksonville area who have taken advantage of our policy, and Underwood still grows a lot of diamonds for a lot of people.
Underwood, serving excellence since 1928. In San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Bringing you an extra quarter of football.
The window world of Northeast Florida, 5th quarter. Presented by Von Rowan Law on 1010XL.
Trevor drops the throw. Look, fires back to the end zone. The ball is caught! Touchdown! Back in the end zone. Brenton Strange for the score!
Frank Frangie, Jaguars Radio. You know, we talk about Tank Bigsby and Brian Thomas Jr. Honorable mention to Brenton Strange, who's coming on every week. And I think when Evan Ingram comes back, you now have an added weapon with Brenton Strange and some 2 tight end sets as well. That'll be interesting to see how the Jaguars do that when Evan Ingram is back to go, which might be next week. We'll see when they play Chicago over in London. Speaking of that, every week here in the 5th quarter, we do give you an injury update. That injury update is brought to you by the law offices of Farah & Farah. Let's do it right now, RJ, the Farah & Farah injury update.
The personal injury attorneys of Farah & Farah present this injury update. Farah & Farah, Jacksonville, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Pretty light on the injury front. You got a much-needed victory. You're off the O and the 0 in the loss column, and you didn't really sustain a lot. Duvernay, I think, had a hamstring, so we'll have to see how that goes. But aside from that, pretty good on the injury front, Leon.
Yeah, not bad. I mean, especially next couple of weeks, we should be getting some welcome additions on this team that could help us in the long run. So at this point in the period where a lot of guys are going down right now, we seem to be getting healthier. We got our injuries early on and going to get some guys back, so hopefully they can help us.
And Darnell Savage came back today. Hopefully Evan Ingram comes back maybe as early as next week. Tyson Campbell, you would think sooner rather than later. I haven't heard this about Dewey Wingard, but I would think sooner rather than later for him as well, right? And by the way, that would be a much welcomed addition. I wouldn't mind seeing him out there based on the way some of the safeties are playing right now. So they are going to start getting some guys back. Final segment of phone calls. Let's get as many in as we can. Let's head out to Jacksonville Beach. Let's get RJ in here on the 5th quarter on 1010XL. RJ, what do you got?
Hey, Hack. How you doing today?
Doing well, buddy. How are you?
Good. I think everyone said what needed to be said for this game. Obviously, Trayvon had a career day. And I guess this is actually more of a question / comment for Coach. You know, the pass rush kind of is what it is when Josh Hines-Allen or Trayvon aren't having one of these types of games. It's kind of non-existent. So I'm kind of curious, Coach, with kind of the way we've been seeing Ventrell Miller kind of come of age here these past 2 games. Do you think, and maybe I'm not seeing it on the TV or at the game, do you think maybe we could maybe start thinking about maybe doing some kind of disguised linebacker blitzes with him? I know that was kind of the talk in the offseason with the linebackers, is doing some more blitzes with them. I'm just kind of curious, do you think that could be something we might see, particularly when we play some of the more mobile quarterbacks like Caleb Williams next Sunday? And thanks for everything you guys do, and I'll take your comments off the air.
RJ, I would say this. There's no question that the linebackers can be a factor in the pass rush, and we've kind of made the decision, though, for one reason or another, whether it's injuries or whether we don't have that much confidence in what's going on, that we've gone to more of a bend but don't break philosophy, which is okay. the only way to handle that is if you don't want to jump into man and really put a lot of pressure on that way, is to run some zone blitzes and bring the linebackers. And I think that we may see a little bit more of that as we go forward. But as long as we're getting pressure with 4, but when a quarterback throws for what this guy did today, you got to start pressuring the quarterback even more. We got the sacks, but I'm not sure we really pressured him enough when you have a 71% or 80%, whatever he was, completion percentage.
I thought the run defense, Leon, was terrific. I thought the pass rush was terrific. The pass defense was horrific. And you need more common ground there, I think.
Yeah, the thing that was so surprising is that the Jaguars' defense made them one-dimensional. So you knew the only thing they could really do was throw the ball, and they still had success doing it. I mean, that's got to be fixed. I mean, because we did what we were supposed to do. We stopped the run. We put it in Flacco's hands for whatever reason. It's not like he's had success against us.
I'm so over Joe Flacco at this point. I'm just done.
Oh, man. It's not like he's had success against us. So we made him one-dimensional, but we had breakdowns in coverage. We just gave up too many big plays, and we can't have that. We got to fix that for sure.
Let's head to the west side. Let's get Darren in here on 1010XL. Darren, what's happening?
Hey, guys. I guess y'all stole a little bit of my thunder. Though I'm happy for a win, I had convinced myself that, we easily with 6 to 8 plays could have been 3-1 going into this game, but we were 0-4. My joy of winning in football season has been a little bit dampered. I am happy that we won today because I know the season can turn around, but that was where I was going with Coach Campo. Very frustrated that we let a nearly 40-year-old man come out there and make us look stupid on the first drive of the game. And, yes, we did turn it around, but I'm disappointed. Hutchinson should be on this team. And, yes, I am still calling for the general manager's head at this point because Hutchinson should be on this team. And, yes, we can look at some good players here and some upcoming players there and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. But the bottom line is we went out there and we barely won a –
All right, Darren, appreciate the phone call. I think we let you get a lot off your chest. There are days to talk about the Aiden Hutchinson thing. On a day where Trayvon Walker had not 1, not 2, but 3 quarterback sacks, Hines Allen got his sack as a result of Trayvon Walker. Today is probably not one of them. So I'm not really sure where he was going with that.
Yeah, again, we need a pass rush. We still need a pass rush. And it's disappointing, obviously, when you see a guy that comes off the bench, basically, and throws for as well as he did and percentage-wise and all that. But in reality, I think they made the decision. I thought last week they made the decision we're going to play action pass to take pressure off of Trevor. And I think it helped. I think they made the decision to bend but don't break, which I think helped a week ago. Today, it kept us in the football game, but those last 2 touchdowns, without those last 2 touchdowns, you're saying, hey, it was a pretty good game on both sides of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously we made a couple. There's mistakes. I know. I got to look at the secondary coverage, as I've said a bunch of times. I've got to look at what happened there because both of those were bad.
Yeah, we definitely need help, with the pass rush. I mean, Eric Armstead is on a paid vacation. Yeah. Where has he been? He's done nothing.
Right.
On the outside or the inside.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Roy Robertson-Harris, and he's a straight up and down guy. Now, he's an effort guy. Yeah. He's a physical guy. But, I mean, he's not elusive. He's the bull rush guy as well. I mean, if you don't get the pressure from the outside, bro, I don't know where they're coming from. Now Caller said something. Maybe we could run some dogs, or we bring linebackers here, or whatever, and stuff like that. But you got to get home because the back end of the secondary is struggling. If you're bringing that kind of pressure, you don't get home, then those guys are on the island.
And I'm not smart enough to know, the X's and O's. That's why we have Coach and you, and I'm very fortunate to listen to you guys. But if 51's playing as well as he is, at some point, do you tell Devin Lloyd, go get the quarterback?
Possibly.
Could he be another guy? to get them on the field together.
Well, you know who he would be
He'd be Arden Key.
Yeah, but he would be one who was inactive today.
Abdullah?
Abdullah, yeah.
He would be Abdullah to me, okay? Because he could be a guy that plays on the tight end and rush the passer.
Yeah.
That combination I could see too. Now, whether or not they're going to do that, I don't know. But I'm just saying that if it comes down to 23 and 51 as the linebackers, you got to find something to do. You can't have three guys playing all the time. Plus, you got Muma, who's a pretty good backer as well.
Let's get two more calls in. Let's go to David up in New Jersey. David, what do you got?
Hey, what's up, everybody? I've been listening for a long time, first-time caller. I'm just really excited, especially being from Jersey. I get a lot of flack for being a Jags fan. So, it feels good to get a win overall. And I must say, I didn't catch Big Stars. I wonder if he liked how the line played. I like Tank was running like a grown man. I loved him.
Mm-hmm.
And I also want to say, I got the jersey, and I can't say them things look real good in person. I don't know if y'all touched on it. I'm sorry if y'all did, but man, they look good. And have a good night.
David, appreciate the phone call. They're the throwbacks, Leon. You want them to be permanent, though.
Hey, I told you, bro, I'm going to start a petition.
Yep.
I put my name on it. I mean, all they can do is say no.
That's right. That's all they can say.
They can say yeah. I'm just saying, I had flashbacks watching the team play the way they play now. Our secondary was pretty good back then. We didn't give up those kind of big plays.
Yeah, you didn't have Aaron Beasley and Donovan Darius and
exactly.
the fellas back there.
No, but it was good to see them, assert themselves, on both sides of the ball, getting after the quarterback, running the ball, protecting, all that kind of stuff. So that was good to see. It was good to see the ghost of back in the day play well today.
Let's get one more in. Let's go to Mandarin. Let's get Matthew to close us out. Matthew, how we doing?
Good. Hey, thanks for putting me on.
Yeah, buddy. How are you?
Good. I think that Trevor Lawrence really found himself today.
Absolutely, buddy. Yep.
What else you got? What else you got?
They have a superstar in Brian Thomas Jr.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Were you excited about the win, Matthew?
Yes, sir.
Matthew, how old are you, buddy?
I'm 10.
10
there
now.
you go. There's a football fan.
That reminds
right
me
there.
of me calling the ball back in the day when I was about 10, 11 years old. Matthew, I'm happy you enjoyed the win, pal. Have a great night.
Okay, thanks.
There you go.
Thanks.
10-year-old Matthew. That's absolutely outstanding. Yep. Love that. All right, Coach. Give us some positivity. It's a lot easier now, unlike the last 4 weeks. They're off the schneid. They got their first win of the year.
I think that they've got to go there with the idea that this is the start of something big. And it starts with going in there with Chicago, and it's not going to be an easy ball game. Caleb Williams kind of found himself today. I don't know if that was partly because they were playing against Carolina. I don't know that, but he did some good things, and their defense is good. So they're going to have to – it's going to be a tight ball game. I think the confidence level will help us for sure.
Leon, a win's a win, but today feels like a little something special because of the adversity the Jaguars had to overcome. They have not done that in the past.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, Hack. I mean, they got to clean up the back end and the secondary or whatever. But if that – and they will fix it. They'll make the fix it. But if that team plays – the way as efficient as they played on offense, running the ball, throwing it, protecting the passer with the deep throws down the field, and getting after the quarterback and the linebacker play, and we clean up the back end. If that team plays like that the next couple of weeks, we're going to win a lot of ball games.
You'll have it on XL Prime Time tomorrow, beginning at 2 o'clock. By the way, did you stay up for the Miami game?
I did. At one particular moment, I did turn it off and watch some Martin because I needed to laugh because I was getting so upset in my bedroom. But I turned it back on the end of the third quarter. It was good to see Miami come back and win it.
Hey, Miami won. The Gators won. The Jaguars won.
The Yankees won.
Florida State. That's another story. For the head coach, Dave Campo, tomorrow night, Monday Night Coaching with Campo on Hacker After Dark. Looking forward to that. Leon, you'll have Bev XL Prime Time. I'll talk to you on Hacker After Dark later in the week. RJ Saunders, always appreciate your hard work. This has been the Window World of Northeast Florida, fifth quarter. We have been presented by Von Rowan Law. Tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., Jeff Prosser will be in this studio and will kick off 16 hours of local programming on our first Victory Monday here in 2024. For all of us on the fifth quarter, have a terrific night. I'll talk to you tomorrow evening on Hacker After Dark. Good night, everybody.